changing who I am. I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. You can't stop what's moving. You can't stop what's moving. I'm changing my life, and I won't look back ever again.
Welcome to EJ's voiceover journey, where the mic is always on and the learning never stops. I'm EJ, a voice actor journeying through the world of voiceover, from auditions and coaching to client work. Whether you're just starting out on your voice acting path or already deep into the journey, this podcast shares real experiences, lessons, laughs, and challenges straight from inside the booth. Let's bring scripts to life together with heart and soul. EJ のSeiyūの旅へようこそ。ここはマイクはいつもオン。学びは止まらないポッドキャストです。私は EJ。オーディションからコーチング、クライアントの仕事まで、声優の世界を旅する声優です。あなたが声優の道を歩き始めたばかりでも、もっと深いところまで来た人でも、このポッドキャストでは、Būsuの中からたくさんの経験、学び、笑いや挑戦を共有します。一緒に台本に命と魂を吹き込みましょう。Well, back again. That last podcast was long. It was like 45 minutes. It took some time to write due to the information I had to pass on. I probably should have broken it up into 2 different posts. Something to think about for next time. Did some analysis, and I'll get to that in a moment. So that's one of the reasons why I'm thinking about, I should have broke that up. The reason behind the long posts, they're having to do with content being posted in Japanese. Since I'm not fluent in the language, I had to double check that the content I wrote in English, the language I am fluent in, was relayed properly. As an example, take the word shio. In Japanese, it means use, but so does tsukaimasu. So the difference being shio could cover legal terms, as in using a legal term, and tsukaimasu can be used for like physical things, like I used a hammer. 先週のポッドキャストは45分でした。時間が長すぎました。情報がたくさんあったからです。2、3章に分けて書けばよかったです。記事が長くなった理由は日本語で投稿したからです。私は日本語がペラペラではないので、無営な英語が正しく伝わっているか何度も確認する必要がありました。日本語でしようも使うも言うという意味です。違いは、しようは法的なことや公式な場で使われ、使うはものや日常的なことに使われることです。As I mentioned before, analyzing my podcast を分析しています。I got curious about all the podcasts I've done and wanting to put out better and more engaging content for you listeners, I decided to use AI to help me create better output. I didn't know exactly what prompt to create, but it, I put it off for a bit. 今週僕のポッドキャストが聞きになりました。AI はいいコンテントがなります。もしコンテントが面白いなら、もっとたくさんの人が聞くでしょう。どの AI プロンプトを使うかわからなかったので、また言いました。I recently read on one of the Buzzsprout blogs. Buzzsprout is what I use to put my podcast out on, to do just that, use AI to create it and get a good prompt. So I grabbed that prompt and I changed it around and followed the steps in the blog. And I downloaded my podcast episodes, transcripts, titles, and back catalog and had Gemini do the work. It gave me good feedback and a path forward, so I'm going to start following what Gemini laid out. ウェブサイト buzzsprout.com がいいプロンプトをブログで読みました。これはブログポスト指示に従いました。ポッドキャストのエピソード、文字越し、タイトル、そして過去のカタログをダウンロードして、Gemini に任せました。Gemini feedback はいいでした。Of course, one of the key points Gemini pointed out was to keep your listeners engaged by providing meat and potato topics. Topics that inform you of who is a voice actor and how does a voice actor create? What goes on inside the booth and the process of creation? When a person decides to jump into this profession, where does one start to learn about this profession? Why would a person subject themselves to the uncertainty of this profession, basically acting? How does a person make a living at this profession? もちろん、Gemini が指摘した重要なポイントの一つは、meat and potatoes 本質的なトピックを提供して、リスナーを引きつけることでした。それは情報を与えるトピックです。声優とは誰で、どのように創作するのですか？ブースの中では何が起こり、創作のプロセスはどうなっていますか？人はいつ、このshokugyōに飛び込みことを決めるのですか？このgyōretsu、keishōについてどこから学び始めるのですか？この職業でどうやって生活を立てるのですか？なぜ人はこの不透明さに身を犯すのですか？ Who is a VA and what does a VA create? 声優とは誰でどのように創作するのですか？ A voice actor is someone who is still an actor, still takes the same classes as stage and film and TV actors, but they're not in front of the camera. Not their physical appearance. They could be represented in anime, though. They engage with an audience through their voice and the manipulation of words and sounds to convey feelings and visuals to listeners. A voice actor can use their voice in the same way as a stage actor, but doesn't need to project to the back of the room continuously. So you see folks up on stage, they're very loud. Why? Because people in the back of the room need to hear them. Projection. 声優は役者です。声優と役者も同じ授業に出ます。声優はカメラ前にいません。声優は気分、声、言葉がオーディエンスとつながります。声優は声を使ってオーディエンスと交流し、目に浮かぶような世界を作ります。声優と舞台俳優の違いは、声優は劇場の後ろの客に向かって話す必要がないことです。これはプロジェクションと言います。You still project, but on a smaller scale. When you want to yell, scream, or just be louder, you create space between you and the mic, and then return to your position. To create the feeling of whispering or quiet conversation, you can get really close to the mic and drop your voice a bit. For film actors, you notice lots of facial and body movement. You can still use this in the booth, and my coaches encourage you to do this. The movement can come through in your voice if you really mean what you're saying and believe in what you're saying. This last part is the authenticity that a voice actor needs to bring to every read. Not as easy as it sounds. Well, at least not for everybody. Overall, it takes time to learn that. 声優はプロジェクションで使います。でもマイクが主要です。声優とマイクの間の空間がアクターとオーディエンスのつながりを作る場所です。 ささやきや静かな会話の感じを出すには、マイクにとても近づいて少し声を落とせばいいです。映画俳優の場合、たくさんの表情や体の動きがあることに気づくでしょう。ブースの中でもこれを使うことはできますし、こっちたちもそうするように進めてくれます。もし本当に心から話し自分の言葉を信じていれば、その動きは声に現れます。この菅井の部分こそが声優をすべてのリコーディングにもたらすべき本物の感じです。The course I finished the other day was called Authentic Narration Voiceover. It addressed this. Our coach taught us how to bring authenticity to our reads. The basics are to find an emotional connection to the copy. Find a time in your life that brings to mind the feeling that the client is trying to express to listeners. The tough part is keeping that feeling through the read and preventing the inner voice in your head from waking up and taking over the read. This means your brain will start to intrude and take you out of the authenticity and put you in announcer mode. It's something to keep in mind, and it's kind of tough to pull it off right away. It's easy to understand, but to pull it off takes some work, and you should have a coach to help you out with it. 先日終了した Authentic Narration Voiceover のコースで、このことに触れていました。コーチは、本物の感じをリコーディングにもたらす方法を教えてくれました。基本は原稿とのエモーショナルなつながりを見つけることです。難しいのは、リコーディングの間、その感情を維持し、頭の中のもう一人の自分が目を覚ましてリードを支配させるのを防ぐことです。これは脳が介入し、初めて本物の感じから遠ざかり、アナウンサーモードになってしまうことを意味します。The challenge is silencing the analytical mid-read. Once your inner critic starts to check your pacing, your tone, you slip out of authenticity and back into announcer mode. Real voice acting is the art of staying in the moment so the listener feels the emotion, not the technique. 解題作は読みの途中で分析的なのを黙らせることです。内的非評価がペーシングやトーンをチェックし始めると本物の感じから外れてアナウンサーモードに入ってしまいます。本物の声優の芸術とはリスナーがテクニックではなく感情を感じれるようにその主観にとどまり続ける芸術です。Thank you for listening to EJ's voice acting journey. If you found any value in this journey, please follow the show and share it with friends or colleagues who are interested in voice acting. Be sure to follow and share it with anyone you know who's curious about voice acting. Until next time, keep practicing, keep recording, and above all, keep using your voice. Good luck. EJ の声優の旅を来てくれてありがとうございました。この旅に何か価値を感じてくれたら、ショーをフォローして、同時に声優に興味がある人や同僚とシェアしてください。それでは、また次の回まで。練習を続けて、録音 を続けて、そして何よりも自分の声を使い続けて頑張ってください。
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? Let's go! Hey! Yeah, this is my life, my strife, my right to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life, whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in the summer on a goose and Sprite, or find a nightclub for the end of the night, And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe